Home. That's a big word, and one we don't use lightly. They say home is where the heart is. And at Villanova, we wholeheartedly agree. Home is a place where you can be yourself, where you're surrounded by people who care for you, where you can feel safe to explore, to speak up and speak out, to find your voice, find your passion. Home means family, and Villanovans are just that. Home is comforting, just knowing it's there. And for the rest of your life, wherever your journey takes you, you'll always have a home right here at 800 Lancaster Avenue. Welcome home.
Good morning, and welcome to Villanova's Transfer Admitted Student Day. My name is Rosemary Solewin, and I'm Associate Director of Transfer Admission here at Villanova. I have had the pleasure of reading your applications and meeting with many of you during the admission process, and it's so wonderful to see you all on campus today. I want to begin by asking you all to take a few seconds to congratulate yourselves. This year, we saw one of the largest transfer application pools in Villanova's storied history. Your hard work, dedication, and academic achievements have brought you to this exciting new chapter, and we couldn't be more thrilled to welcome you to the Villanova community. As you enter this new chapter, know that you're not alone. Our faculty, staff, and fellow students are here to support you every step of the way. From academic advising to student organizations, we have the resources to support you in your transition. You'll meet many of these Villanovans while you're here on campus today. Which leads me to introduce our student speaker, Emily Hanlon. Emily is excited to share more about her experience transferring to Villanova.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Admitted Transfer Students Day. We're all so excited for you to be here today. My name's Emily, and I'm the transfer captain on Villanova's new student orientation team. I'm a rising senior English major, and I transferred to Villanova 2 years ago after my first year at another college. When I first decided to transfer to Villanova, I was both apprehensive and excited. It was a new start, and I was excited to be closer to home, to take classes at Villanova, and to meet new people. However, I also had several worries. Logistically, I had no idea where to park or where any of my classes were, and I didn't know anyone on campus who was already a student. It also seemed tiring and overwhelming to adjust to another college after going through the application process 2 years in a row. There were many questions running through my mind. What if I regretted my decision to transfer? What if I had trouble making new friends? And what if the academics were more difficult? I know you might be having similar worries about transferring right now. I also know my feelings and experiences are not universal. Students transfer for so many different reasons, whether you planned years in advance to transfer, had a fantastic or difficult experience at your first school, or transferred based on any number of other reasons or circumstances. Within the orientation program, we often discuss and consider what it means to be a transfer student at Villanova and what it means to have a transfer story. No matter what your personal transfer story entails, transferring can be a difficult decision that often requires resilience, adaptability, and self-discovery. We recognize the nuances and unique experiences of transfer students, and we want to help welcome you to Villanova. I've seen firsthand how dedicated Villanova is towards making transfer students feel included in the larger community within every facet of student life. Villanova has a specific transfer orientation program within the larger new student orientation program, where students are able to meet and spend time with other transfers. During orientation, we also discuss specific transfer experiences and questions and can share our personal knowledge on what being a transfer student at Villanova is like. Although I've made many friendships outside of orientation, I also met some of my closest friends and even my current roommate during my first few days on campus within the transfer group. And even after orientation, there are so many opportunities to meet other people and to discover your academic and extracurricular interests within our very inviting and very involved student body. When looking back over my own transfer journey at Villanova, the first day of classes in the fall of my junior year stands out. I remember sitting on the patio outside Falvey Library between classes and feeling so excited and prepared for the upcoming semester. Even though I had had several first day of classes in college at that point, I had never felt such a strong sense of confidence about the upcoming school year. While it's true that I knew more people on campus compared to the year before, and I was very happy with my class schedule, I think this confidence came from a new sense of stability and belonging. It was the first time in 2 years that I didn't have to adjust to a new college, and I finally felt like I had the space to explore my interests and achieve my goals. Every transfer student should have the opportunity to develop that feeling of self-confidence and to pursue whatever it is they're passionate about, whether that is in student involvement, advocacy, volunteering, research, academics, or any number of other interests you might have or discover along your way during your time here. Know that no matter when you come to Villanova or how many years you spend here, you are part of the Villanova community, and we want to ensure that this is a place where you can be inspired and equipped to pursue your interests with self-confidence and support. It might seem like a lot to handle right now, especially logistically, but we want you to succeed and are here to help you throughout the process. We are dedicated to meeting the needs and concerns of transfer students with a sense of compassion so that transfer students feel that they can truly thrive at Villanova. To continue our Admitted Transfer Students Day, it's now my pleasure to introduce our university president, Father Peter Donohue.
You don't know what. Thanks, Emily. Good morning and welcome to Villanova. The Augustinian friars are the people that started this school many years ago. I'll tell you a little bit about that. And just so this is not so unusual for you that in 90-degree weather I wear black. This is called the habit. This is the Augustinian habit. And it is, you'll see many of the Augustinians that work here wearing it on a regular basis. It's kind of our comfortable garb. It's really very comfortable. So it's, you know, it's like wearing a big bathrobe around. This is not the belt that goes with it, however. There is a big black belt that goes with it. But somebody told me I looked like I won a wrestling match. But I had back surgery several weeks ago, and so it's back brace, and I just need to wear it. So, you know, there it is, you know. So now you understand what it is. So in case you see somebody else and say, why does he have this big belt on and you don't, you know? So but this is the garb that we wear, our habits. They're not dresses, they're habits. Students always say, oh, you're not wearing your dress today. I'm not wearing my habit. But welcome to Villanova. Let me tell you a little bit about Villanova, and hopefully you'll understand why this video started by saying welcome home. In 1842, the Augustinians came out here from the city of Philadelphia, that we had come over here from Ireland to serve the needs of Irish immigrants that were living in the city of Philadelphia, or in the Philadelphia area. And we came over in the late 1700s, but in 1842, they ventured from a church downtown that we still have. It's called St. Augustine's. Ironically, everything's called St. Augustine's with us. But it's right by the Benjamin Franklin Bridge. So if you're ever driving over the bridge into Jersey or out of Jersey, you'll see this big church right next to the foot of the bridge in Philadelphia. And that's St. Augustine's. And that's really where Villanova got its start. So they came out here in 1842. They knew the woman who owned this property. Her name was Jane Rudolph. And she had this 265-acre farm. Her husband had recently died. And in those years, a woman could not own property in her own name. So it was going up for the auction block. The Augustinians knew her. She was Catholic. She came down to St. Augustine's oftentimes to celebrate with them on Sundays. So they came out here and they convinced her the day before the auction to sell them the property in order to start a school. Because they really believed that what the Irish community needed here was a way to get an education. The Irish at the time, this was a very British colony at the time, And the Irish were not really well liked by the British, and the Irish didn't really like the British. And if you have ever studied Irish-British history, you'll know why. But so there was this kind of tension between them, and the British didn't really want, the English people didn't really want the Irish here. So they were kept out of a lot of things. They were not allowed to have jobs, they were not allowed to do this, they were not allowed to do that. And so the Augustinians felt that if they had an education, they would be able to kind of advance in this city and advance in this new country that they had come to. So they convinced her to sell them the property for $18,000, 265 acres of property. That's the cost of the organic chemistry book now. And they came out here and convinced her to do it without any money. They didn't have the money to pay her. So she agreed to it and stopped the auction. They went back to Philadelphia, borrowed half of it from a business person they knew down there, came back and said to her, we promise we will give you the other half of the money in 2 years, which they did by a lot of fundraising and a lot of energy and all of that. So on September 10th, 1842, 8 Augustinians and 10 students started Villanova College, it was known at the time. It was a wonderful faculty student ratio. And it was a boarding school, and it was for all boys. Now, in those years, college had a very different connotation because it wasn't really college the way we think of it, or university the way we think of it. It was more general education, education in kind of the classics. Greek, Latin, theology, philosophy, math, those kinds of things. And the students all took the same thing. But they were from an age group that varied from what we would think of high school into college age. So those 10 students came from different age groups, but they all lived here, and the school began to grow from that point on. So over the years, the Irish Augustinians, we came from Ireland, but the Irish Augustinians continued to invite students to come out here. And primarily, that in those years, the community was made up of Irish immigrants. Now, we've changed a lot since then. We're a very different place. We're a university now. We have over 100,000 alumni over the many years. We are a big school. We have close to 7,000 undergraduates, about 4,000 graduate students. We have a law school, so it's very different than it was when it first started. We have 6 different colleges, and we have lots of activities that go on. You're going to see a very quiet side of Villanova. You'll see a Villanova that's under construction. There's a lot. The summertime is a time to do lots of work and repair things and fix things. And we're building a new library, but you'll see that. But anyway, we are a very different community than we were back then. But I like to say that we are still a community of immigrants, because all of you, wherever you come from a different place. You come from different backgrounds, you come from different families and values, you've had different experiences, you're not all exactly the same, but you're all coming to this place to begin something new, and to elevate yourself to something different, to use that education to move yourself to another place, as any educational process should do. It should bring us from one place to another. The way you begin that time in a school, it's not the way you should end. You should end a very different person. So we come to a place from all different qualities of life, all different places, all different economic backgrounds, all different value systems. And we come to a place, Villanova, which means new home. So they named the school after St. Thomas of Villanova, an Augustinian, a Spanish Augustinian, who was very big on education. And so Villanova became the name of the school. It also became the name of the local area. And so it is the new home. It is your new home, and it is a place that we hope that we welcome you here and allow you to become accustomed to this place and do what you need to do to be better. I quote Augustine, we quote Augustine a lot here, but I quote Augustine all the time, that this process of life, what we are on, all of us, no matter where you are, has nothing to do with just starting Villanova, but every one of us here are on a journey to become what we are not yet. A journey to become what we are not yet. And that is a process that we go through. And every day we become more and more and more what we are not yet. So at Villanova, we really believe that that journey should take you to a place that you are different from where you are when you started, as I said. Now, the community is a big word here because it is kind of the charism of the Augustinian friars. Augustine believed very much in the sense of community. He believed very much in the power of friendship. And when you read his materials, and you will read at least one of his books, because you all take a class that will demand you to read a book, the Augustinian Cultural Seminar, that will all ask you to read his Confessions, which is probably the most famous of his books. But it's about his journey to become who he was, his friendships, and his relationship with God. And he believed that he became more aware of God's presence in his own life by the friendships that he had. And he didn't really discover God or discover Christianity until he was 30 years old. So the book traces a kind of wild young life that he had. And he had a very wild young life. But he converted at the age of 30, was baptized. He had a son out of marriage, and that son joined him in creating this community of the Augustinians. So it's a little different time frame. He died in 400s. So, but in this process of creating community, it's not necessarily to create a community that everybody is equal. He didn't believe that was true. He didn't believe that was the case. Augustine believed that everybody had something different to offer that community. And I like to tell people, it's like, you know, if you invited a group of people into your house and you were serving a pie, and you put the pie down on the table, and you would say, okay, we're going to cut this pie so everybody can have a piece. And just automatically, you would start cutting the pie in very even slices. And of course, there's always those people that go, oh, no, that's too big, if they really want it. But, you know, so you'd say, no, everybody gets the same piece. You know, we've got to equally give this pie up. And Augustine would say, no, we don't. Because not everybody needs the same piece. Not everybody needs to have that piece of pie. Some people on this particular day might need a bigger piece of pie, and some people might need a smaller piece of pie. And we have to all recognize that and not become envious or jealous of somebody that might get something more, because we know they need something more. And we need something less right now. And maybe tomorrow that may completely flip around. And that's how community is. It works day by day to recognize the needs of people, but more importantly, what you have to offer to that community. And so you may think you're coming to school to get something, but we also want something from you. We want you to contribute to this community. And that's important for you to understand, that you need to give to this community as much as you take from this community, because that's how community works. It's always a two-way street. It's never just, let me stand here and bask in the glory of this. Rather, what do I have? What are the abilities that I have to really make a difference here at the university? What do I need to take from the university? But more importantly, what can I give to the university? Now, if you look at the seal of the university, you'll see three words that are very important. Veritas, Unitas, and Paritas. They're kind of the logo of the Augustinians. And they're really the things that Augustine wrote about. But it's truth, unity, and love. And he always begins with truth. Because unless you're honest with yourself, and you really know yourself, you're no good to anybody else. You need to be honest with who you are, and know who you are, and know what your abilities are, and know how to use those abilities. And so here we are a people that look to discover truth, first in our own life, in the life of others, and in the life of our relationship with God. And that's how we become more aware of who we are. But it means that we have to be people that constantly keep discovering something new. And the very nature or the very function of a university is to create new knowledge, to examine new knowledge, and find the truth in that knowledge, and how the community and the world and the common good can benefit from that truth. So we begin with understanding ourselves, understanding each other, and understanding our relationship with each other to God, and what God calls each of us to contribute. That's how community is built. That's the unitas. That's how we come together to create a unity of people. And we do it all out of a sense of caritas, or a sense of love. We do it out of a sense of love for one another. a sense of really caring for one another and wanting the best for each other and recognizing how you can provide that quality in life that will allow somebody to become better. So at Villanova, that's our goal. And you will experience many things here, from classes to student activities. And I often say you learn more outside the classroom than you know inside the classroom. But all of you are coming with a bit of an advantage to all of those people that are coming as freshmen here in office. You're coming with a sense of what university or college life is like. You know the pitfalls. You know what is good, what works, what isn't good, what doesn't work. And you know why you decided where you were wasn't right for you. So you're looking for something else. If you have a sense of what college life is like. And so you're coming with a different feeling for this. But I'm asking you to come with a very open mind. To really figure out where it is that you belong here and how it is that you belong. And what it is that you can contribute to this place. Now, to be very honest with you, we're not always successful at this. You know, it's tough to live community. It's tough to live with others. It's tough to live in residence halls with other people. And it's tough sometimes to have a roommate that just drives you crazy. Or it's tough to live with a roommate that doesn't understand that you like cleanliness and they don't. You know, it's tough to live in a residence hall and understand it. And so there's a constant dynamic of give and take in those places. But it's also true for the greater university. Sometimes we are very successful in creating community and sometimes we fail miserably. And those are the times that we need the people here in the community to say, wait a minute. You're not being truthful here. You're telling me one thing and I'm experiencing another. And so you need to challenge us as much as we will challenge you. Because that's how we become better people. So it is a process of knowing who you are and what you are about and what you want to achieve in life. But again, knowing that, what can you give to others? And how can you build this community? So we hope that Villanova will become that new home, and it will take time. You need to be patient. You need to be patient with yourself. You need to be patient with those around you. And as Emily said, you know, when you come here for the first time and you don't know anybody and you have no idea what classes are and you don't know where anything is, there's people that don't help you, but you need to ask. You need to speak up. You need to say, you know, like, what am I supposed to do with this? Because every place is different. And it'll take you a little time to discover that, discover where it is that you fit in the best. And it also takes some time to get to know the community, what it is about. So, you know, this is an expensive place to go to school. You know that. This is not some cheap adventure. And so you're buying a very expensive house. So look at it carefully. Figure out what's wrong with it. Figure out what's right with it too. You know, open the windows, shut the doors, see who the neighbors are, turn the water on and off. You know, make sure things work. Make sure things work for you. Because this is an investment that you're making in your life, but also eventually in the lives of others. Because it's our goal, and it's our responsibility to push you through this process and to guide you through this process so that what you learn here, the truth you learn here, you can go out and share with others. And you can go out and, as we say in Villanova, ignite change in the world. We welcome you to Villanova. Thank you for choosing us. You know, you had some other choices probably. We're grateful that you chose us. And I really hope that, you know, you will join this immigrant community. You will come from various places and you will share those experiences with us and allow us to become better and allow all of us to continue that journey to become what we are not yet. Welcome to your new home.
When I think of Villanova, community is arguably the first thing that comes to mind.
I think what makes Villanova so special is just the amount of passion that is instilled in each and every one of the members of this community. Everyone is just so unique, and it's just really shown through the amount of different programs and amount of different activities and things that people can get involved here.
I feel like I can't go and talk to anyone without having a different point of view, different perspective on things, which really helps me and the community grow as a whole.
It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to move to a different state, time zone, weather. I mean, we don't have snow in California.
When I first came to Villanova on my first visit, I knew immediately that it was going to be my new home for the next 4 years.
I've found people who encourage you to be the you that you want to be, if that makes sense.
Villanova has set me up for success with a really strong alumni network. It's been a really supportive and strong backbone that I think will really help me and set me up for my future.
Seeing a Villanova sweatshirt across the country and knowing that that person went to Villanova and you can instantly talk to them, that's the connection you have at Villanova.
I learned about mental health, and that's been a big part of my Villanova experience with the bandana project that I'm involved in. And then also I'm involved in orientation to help new students and people here on campus, and I think I found the passion of helping people and helping them find their place here at Villanova just like I found mine.
I can honestly say that Villanova has prepared me so well for whatever comes my way.
The sense of community that you feel when you walk on campus, it's a feeling like no other.
At a lot of the other schools that I'd visited, there was a narrative of it would be such an honor for you to say that you go to this school. But at Villanova, it was more of it would be such an honor for us to have you here.
All right, will you join me one more time in just thanking Father Peter and Emily for being here today? All right, so from here, we're gonna get you out on tour, and then afterwards you'll have lunch in the Doherty Dining Hall. We are so excited to host several youth summer camps on our campus over the next few months. You may have seen some of the signs while you were coming up here today. In the dining hall, you will notice that the food might be a little bit more geared towards those youth summer camps. So a lot of pizza and hot dogs and hamburgers and things like that. There will be plenty of other options too, but just wanted to prepare you that that is not our typical dining hall assortment as you go in today.
I think it is.
There's always some good chicken fingers there, that's for sure. And then following lunch, we will have our resource fair in the East Lounge, which is also in Doherty. So we will bring you up after that. We'll feature the academic colleges. So our College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, School of Business, and College of Engineering will all have tables there if you have any advising questions or anything like that. We'll also have the Career Center, Residence Life, Student Involvement, Student Life. So hopefully we'll be able to answer a lot of your questions today. So at this point, we're gonna go on out to the lobby. Feel free to grab another bottle of water. It is hot out there today, and then we'll kind of dismiss from there. The restrooms are right across the hall, but we will dismiss our tours right from the lobby.